Hey, Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. I go through this every single podcast. We do write up 3 wines a week, value price wines a week on the cheapwinefinder.com website. And when we're done with writing it up, we plug in the microphone, and that's where we're at right now. This is a $12.99 wine from Trader Joe's. It's the Trader Joe's Grand Reserve Carneros Chardonnay 2023. You had to come up for air after that long one. Fearless Flyers says that this is a wine that they have back after 6 years. So was this 2023, 2018, 2017 is the last time they had this wine? Or at least that vintage. And so what happened in the last 6 years? They don't say the name on the back that says who actually just bottled the wine. I couldn't find. So they're hiding this one. I can typically find something on the wines usually. And after 6 years, this is a wine that they had often. I went through our archives because we've been doing this for 15 years, and I couldn't find one on there. So maybe it wasn't everywhere because Trader Joe's wines aren't in every store. So there you go. This is a wine that is from 4 vineyards in Carneros. Carneros is on the southern part of Napa and the southeastern part of Sonoma. If it's just on the Napa part of Carneros, it's usually Los Carneros, L-O-S Carneros. And if it's in both, then just Carneros. So this much has some Sonoma fruit as well as the Napa fruit in there. San Pablo Bay is borders on San Pablo Bay. That's on the east side of Oakland. It's an inland bay. It's cool water, cool winds. It makes it a very good place for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And there you go. And here we got the Chardonnay. And I think this is a wine that might have been more like a $25 wine than a $12.99 when it first started out. I don't know, but I think, I'm going to take a sip. First of all, it is unfiltered. I think it's got 8 months in French oak barrels, and it's unfiltered. And in value price wines, they almost always filter the wine. That takes the dead yeast out, wine solids, grape solids. In expensive wines, they think that taking anything out of the wine takes some of the flavor out of the wine. And since they try really hard to put all the flavor in, they're not looking to take something out. But those solids sometimes can put, value price wine drinkers off. Because you look at your glass, and there's, especially the red wine, this one doesn't have any issues. It seems to be crystal clear. But the red wine, you get these chunks of whatever. They don't taste great. You got to fish them out of your glass. But this is an unfiltered wine, and they don't do that for inexpensive wines. They can do it, but they don't. So that's a clue that this might be a more expensive wine. The bottle is got a nice punt in there. It seems like it's a slightly more expensive, but the cork was composite. Sometimes if you get a real cork in a $10 wine, you know it wasn't really a $10 wine. This one just had a cheap cork. But it is a Trader Joe's wine, and I think Trader Joe's whoever's making the wine for them supplies the cork. You don't always get the cork from the winery. So it's full flavor. It's got body. It's 14.5 in the alcohol, which is in red wine territory. Usually Chardonnays are 13.5. This one's got a little body to it, and it handles it just nicely. The color is gold. You can tell that because that's probably from, whatever the toast of the French oak barrel is, that will come off onto the wine, and you're going to get that color. So I don't really know what's up, but it's got a goldenness to it. French oak doesn't give you that chocolate and vanilla. It doesn't give you that butter. It's more subtle. So a lot of people say, I don't like oaked wine. Well, no, you don't like American oak. That's too much. This one's got a lot of flavor. There's peaches and there's pears and there's tropical fruit and there's apples and oh my. And it's got some structure to it. The acidity is really nice. It gives it length and so flavors unfold. And then there's guava and lime and spices, a couple different kind of spices. One kind of a sweeter spice, a candy spice. This wine is a wine that is a food wine. This has enough going on. This has enough structure. It has enough. It'll handle turkey. Now, if you're thinking Thanksgiving, this will stand up to turkey. This will stand up to that green bean casserole too, and the mashed potatoes and all the other fun things you have along with the meal, depending on what your tradition is. But this, I mean, usually you think, I better need a Pinot Noir because the Pinot Noir has that cutting acidity to it. This one's got enough that it will handle. This is almost a steak Chardonnay, and that's not a bad thing. When I first opened up, it was a little off balance, and now it's just nice and in the pocket. It's got great flavor to it. I'm really enjoying this thing. So there you go. This is Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com. This is the Trader Joe's Grand Reserve Carneros Chardonnay 2023. Think Thanksgiving. It's a good wine, $12.99. It's at least half off what it originally was or should be. So adios, keep it cheap, and I'll be talking to you in a couple of days. Bye-bye. Keep it cheap. Bye-bye.